Order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I seek leave to present an exposure draft of the Domestic Animals Dangerous Dogs Amendment Bill 2018 and make a statement in relation to the paper.
Is leave granted? Leave is granted. Ms Lauder.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Once again, the efforts of the Canberra Liberals are to make Canberra a safer place for people to walk the streets, either on their own, with their families, or with their dogs on a leash. And the amendment bill that I'm bringing to this place today as an exposure draft is designed to address those issues of responsible dog management in the ACT. For some years now, Madam Deputy Speaker, it's been the Canberra Liberals who are leading in this space. We've been consulting widely, and in fact we've been using the government's own reports, which they don't appear to be in any speed to implement themselves. The Maxwell Review, which the government received in April of this year, was released publicly on the 17th of September, over 5 months later. And the Maxwell Review has 33 recommendations. Some of the amendments that I'm putting forward today in this exposure draft cover at least 2 of the specific Maxwell Review recommendations. For example, in the Maxwell Review, there was recommendation 11.3, fees reduced for training. And the government's response to this one was that it says it's noted, and recommendation 28 was to remove barriers to relinquish dogs. The government's response to that recommendation was that it agreed with that recommendation. So our bill encourages good behaviour, good and responsible dog ownership and dog management in the ACT, and it has 3 main parts. It includes encouraging responsible dog ownership through the training of dogs, and it proposes there will be no dog registration fee payable if the owner has successfully completed approved dog training with the dog. We also will encourage people to deal humanely with unwanted dogs by making it easy to relinquish a dog, and we will discourage people from keeping dangerous dogs by doubling the fee for dangerous dog licences. Madam Deputy Speaker, we are as determined as ever to encourage responsible dog ownership in the ACT. But what we're focusing on here is not broad brush approach that puts onerous restrictions and regulations on every single dog owner in the ACT. Because, Madam Deputy Speaker, the vast majority of dog owners in the ACT are doing the right thing. They are responsible dog owners. It's a very small proportion of people who are irresponsible, and they're the people that we need to focus on, not by having a broad approach. We've already heard it over and over in this place about the 30% on average increase of dog attacks over the last 5 years. And this is a major public health crisis and a major animal welfare crisis, because dogs and cats are being injured and they're suffering horrific injuries because of people who are irresponsible dog owners. So this government clearly needs to do more to carry out its basic duty of keeping Canberrans safe. They don't seem to care about the physical injuries to Canberrans. They don't appear to care about the emotional injury to Canberrans who've been subjected to dog attacks and will then potentially have mental scars as a result. They may become scared of dogs. They may not wish to walk around in their public spaces near their home anymore. The government doesn't seem to care about the suffering of pets who've been literally torn apart, often in front of their owners. So it's the suffering of the animal and, once again, the emotional anguish of the owner who has witnessed these terrible attacks. So this government just has appeared to look the other way as reported dog attack numbers have skyrocketed. Back in 2014, my colleague Mr Coe supported the Domestic Animals Amendment Bill, and he did say at that time, like all pieces of legislation, this bill will need to be enforced properly. In March 2017, Mr Dospot brought forward a series of recommendations to improve dog management. In 2017, Mr Coe again took up the campaign on behalf of the Canberra Liberals. And again, the Greens Labor government changed those proposals. What we believe was a watered-down implementation. Clearly, the proposed changes as put forward by the government haven't been successful because once again, we've seen a big increase in dog attacks in the following year, following those proposals. So today we have a second tranche, a second round of reforms as an exposure draft of the Domestic Animals Dangerous Dogs Amendment. Madam Speaker, every day it seems, or at least every second day, and that's according to some of the government's own figures, every second day we hear about dog attacks in Canberra. Just recently, I quoted one from a Facebook page. Beware at Gordon Adventure Playgrounds. My two small dogs on leads have just been attacked by a strong, vicious dog not on a lead. The dog owner went on to discuss the fact that the playground had been full of small children at the time and expressed dismay at what could have happened if it was a child who was attacked. And this is a comment that I hear over and over again. The poster in that instance was upset about the attack on their dog and felt it should be a warning to others that we need to encourage responsible dog ownership. And there were many comments made on that post, again referencing other attacks that people had been a victim of or had witnessed.